Council meeting. Can we please get a roll call, City Clerk?
Councilmember Pinedo,
Here.
Councilmember Altamirano, Councilmember Sawyer, Mayor Pro Tem Reboer,
Here.
and Mayor Mendoza.
Present. Okay, we're gonna go to appearances and presentations. Item number 1, presentation update from the Sheriff's Department regarding public safety in the City of Commerce.
Hello, Mayor, council members, Sergeant Villarreal. Over the past month, we had a total of 44 arrests in the City of Commerce. We had, out of those 44, 20 of those were felony arrests. Some of those charges included stolen vehicles, domestic violence, burglary, vandalism, weapon violations, narcotics, robbery. There was also an arrest of a murder suspect, which was an incident that occurred on Eastern, approximately, I want to say maybe sometime last month. We had 24 misdemeanor arrests, and some of those included traffic-related arrests, narcotics, DUI, domestic violence, trespassing, and theft. And this would conclude my presentation. I'm sorry I would have more. It's my first day back from vacation, so I'm trying to look through some of the incidents. But if you have any questions, I'm available to answer.
Thank you, Sergeant. Any questions from the City Council? Hearing none, thank you for the presentation, Sergeant Villarreal.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we're gonna be moving to item number 2, which is the Mayor's Oath of Office. And here with me this evening, I have former board president from the Montebello Unified School District, my really good friend, Joanna Flores, who's gonna be swearing me in. Also present, I have my wife, Marlon Madrigal, daughter Leilani, son Brandon. A couple of my commissioners join me tonight is Evelyn Cervoso, Mireya Garcia, Priscilla Perez. Also, we have Senior Commissioner Jose Zambrano, Jancito Peraza, Esther Zavala, Daniel Cortez, and I believe I got everybody. I got you, right, Jancito?
Yes, you did.
Yes, thank you. So at this moment, we'll be doing the oath. No, you read it and then I repeat it.
The execution of the oath is required by Article 20, Section 3 of the Constitution of the State of California. I, Leonard Mendoza, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Leonard Mendoza, do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies,
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies,
foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith
foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of
without any mental reservation or purpose of
evasion,
evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Sworn in today, August 2nd.
Sworn in today, August 2nd.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you very much, everybody.
Give him a hug. Good job, congratulations. Job well done.
I know you're still in your meeting, right?
Yes.
Oh, we'll hug you after then.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank
We
you.
will jump you outside.
Mayor.
Thank you. So now we're gonna move to consent calendar. We have items 3 4, and 5.
Mr. Mayor, I have one
Councilmember?
comment.
Oh, okay. So we go to a public comment.
Yes, I have one comment from Kevin Larson, President of SME Local 773. Dear Honorable Mayor and City Council, my name is Kevin Larson. Now that Laura Logan retired the end of last week, I am now the President of the City of Commerce Employees Association of SME Local 773. I wanted to write today to publicly thank Laura for her hard work as the CCEA President over the past 3 years. She has fought hard for all employees and has spoken out in a manner that is uniquely hers, not pulling any punches with management or employees and speaking truth to power. I have learned a lot from her style of communication. I wanted to thank the council for their vote at the last meeting for the bonus pay for all employees for hours worked over the last year, and for restoring part of the pay cut that full-time employees took to help get the city through this difficult time. I also want to acknowledge that this would not have happened without the leadership of Laura Logan, and I thank her for her hard work. I believe we have built a strong relationship with city management and the city council, and I look forward to continue the conversation to restore the rest of the cut that employees took. Thank you, Kevin Larson. That's the only comment I have.
Thank you, City Clerk. At this moment, we're going to move to consent calendar. We have items 3, 4, and 5. Would the City Council want to pull any items? If not, can I please get a motion to accept items 3, 4, and 5?
There's no objections. I would move to approve the items 3 through 5.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we please get a roll call?
Lena, you're muted.
Councilmember Argumedo?
Yes.
Councilmember Altamirano? He's not. Councilmember Sawyer? You haven't joined. Mayor Pro Tem Reboyer? Mayor Pro Tem Reboyer? He's muted.
Yes.
And Mayor Mendoza?
Yes, motion passes. Now we're going to move to item number 6, which is a library update.
Good afternoon, Mayor Mendoza, and congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem Rebollo and Councilmember Argumedo. So nice to see you tonight. So today I'm going to give you a library update, and I have prepared a PowerPoint presentation to help me tell the story of the last year and a half. So if Cable, whoever's out there, they can load the library presentation, please. Can you go to the first slide? Thank you. Great. Thank you very much. I titled it City of Commerce Public Library, Serving the Community of the Pandemic. If we can go to the next slide. Thank you. This is just a snapshot of the services that the library offered while we were closed. As you know, March 2020, the doors of all our libraries were closed, and staff really, I have to commend them, did a really great job of switching over to online services to be able to still serve our community. So there is a really good list of what we did during that time. We continued with a lot of our services in terms of our online presence. We really bolstered up our electronic books, magazines, and platforms like Hoopla that also have movies, as well as our hotspot laptop lending program, printing services, which I think a lot of people really took advantage of, and we're happy to be able to do that. We also implemented mobile printing, so people could just print from their mobile device, and really making sure the community knew about our online programs, such as our online tutoring. Of course, social services, they continued their good work. Everything went virtual, from book clubs to story time, cooking demos, our Veterans Resource Center. also did some good work online to be able to connect to that community. We did implement curbside services during the closure that was used weekly, and also food distribution continued as it is. And the children's meals program, it got extended to every day. We haven't stopped doing it since, I believe it's been April, every day. And now we serve breakfast and lunch every day. Thank you. We can go to the next slide. Here's just a snapshot of what I'm talking about. We did Trivia Tuesday. Every month, one of our staff members, Evelyn, she would take actually an ingredient that came in our food distribution and did a cooking demo with a recipe that we videotaped and put up on social media. We also provided those coming through food distribution with the recipe and encouraged them to try it. And some of them I did do, and they were rather tasty. So they did a great job. Virtual Loteria, which is always very popular when we do it in person, and it was also popular virtually. We did the College Resource Fair last year online. We had some really great people from academia do some workshops that were very well received. And this year we are gearing up to do it again. It is Saturday, September 11th, and staff is now working on providing that information and getting people to talk about topics for River Middle School kids, how to transition back into the classroom learning, to, of course, are very popular, how to fund college and do the application. So lots of fun there. And the next slide is another snapshot of things that we did. Some of them are pretty recent. We started to do a couple of in-person programs. Sorry about that. Doing tie-dye for adults that are in our summer reading program. We did some chalk street art that you see that in the middle. We had guests at our story time with our Mayor Pro Tem, and then there's a snapshot of a food distribution, which is something that I'm very happy that we were able to pick up and continue to do that for our community during this very challenging time. We also continued the Hecho a Mano craft for kids. We did a lot of things for children. Staff actually got a grant to enhance our student lunch program to be able to offer like grab and go books, grab and go crafts. And what's really interesting, I want to let you know too, that as we started to do that every month, and they also, for food distribution, they would make crafts available for different age groups for the children that were there going through with their parents to our food distribution. And it really was really heartening for me to hear people say how much they appreciated the crafts, how it gave their kids a distraction, something to do with their hands and be creative. And they really look forward to that every month. So I really want to thank staff for that great idea and continuing to do it. Our virtual story times are very popular with our wonderful Jose Martinez, and they are seen all over with over 1,000 views, plus actually more than 2,000 views every month. If you go to the next slide. So as you know, we did that. June 8th, the Rosewood Main Library was open, staff geared up, and at that time, there was protocols in place by LA County for libraries to reopen. We made sure we followed all of that. And I love this picture. You know, it's always nice to use a good Star Wars picture with the stormtroopers, but I chose this picture actually because although we don't have stormtrooper gear, we did have masks on, shields were also, plexiglass was also afforded to staff, as well as face shields for those who wanted to use it. So a lot of planning really went into opening the main library in a very safe manner, and also to be able to invite the community back into the library, which was really wonderful. And I took a picture of the first man that came in that day, but people were so happy, children were so happy to be in the library. One of our patrons brought us flowers that day, and it was just really great, and it's continued to grow. The next slide is a really quick snapshot of what our stats look like. So for the month of June, the items that were borrowed was $1475. for people to walk in the library while we were open Tuesday through Thursday from 1 to 6. We welcomed 517 patrons in the month of June, and the use of our curbside service continues to be around what you see there. It doesn't hover much lower, much higher. People really seem to appreciate the curbside service that we do here for a variety of reasons. And I also say that we did this as well as still continue to offering all the programs and services that you saw in previous slides. I do have some preliminary July numbers, and it looks like we're still hovering there for curbside about 190, but the number of patrons is still around 500 that we're seeing come in. If you can go to the next slide. Thank you. During this time, I will let's also let you know that prior to opening the main library, we did some staff training and some professional development. And it was really important for me, I think, for the staff, for us to go over the protocols, how we were going to open the library safely, so that staff also felt safe in that space. And I'd like to show you a very short video that was sent to us from our system provider that really helped us to really reconnect with why we believe libraries are important and why we chose to work at a library. If I could ask the cable to play the video, please. Thank you. Before we return to the PowerPoint, this again was a video that we showed before we did our staff training, and it really was an opportunity, like it says there, for us to really reconnect with the importance of libraries, what we mean to this community, and also why it is very important for us to get going. And as soon as we could, with, of course, COVID and all that that brings to us. Oh, thank you. That's okay. This was just a great jumping point. We have started since then to start to do some in-person programs, like I mentioned. Also, virtual class visits became possible. Going to day camp and doing story time became possible. And also the opportunity to launch our app and to actually allow people come in with the app. And once they go in and put in their library card, they can actually check out their own materials. We understood and understand that people's comfort levels are really, they vary how people feel about coming into a space. But I'm really grateful, and I really want to thank those members of our community and beyond that continue to use our library, whether they choose to come in our doors or use us online. Thank you. Can I have the next slide, please? So next one is really where we are, I would say now, where are the opportunities for us to continue the library's mission as a valuable and important community asset? We've done some very informal assessment, you would say. For myself, I am out there every month doing the food distribution, saying hello to our patrons, seeing how their families are doing. And it's been really great to do that, because you can really hear from our other community. And of course, that then it was really, when's the library going to open? When's the library going to open? And also, again, taking the opportunity to also educate our community about what they have available online, and also about curbside, which I think was was very popular. So we've taken those kinds of steps to do some informal conversations. Rosewood Park School, they had that One Day LA event, and the library was there. Again, another opportunity to listen to our community, see how they're doing. Patrons are now coming in. I ask the staff regularly, what are you hearing? What are people asking for? And really, you're taking all that information to be able to see what we can do to meet those needs and expand our services as we can, with COVID safety, of course, measures in place always, but also to be able to still serve our community. As we go forward, reaching out again to our business community. We have some good resources, and I know for them, it's really kind of a constant reminder. So we look forward to doing that, and really reimagining how libraries serve the community post this pandemic. Again, talking and listening really being the key word for me there. And using that information to make decisions about services based on the community input and the need that we hear from them. So that's kind of where we are. And then the final slide, please. This was a part of that training and professional development that we did. There was a part of it that was reconnecting with your why. And one of the questions that we were asked as a team is really just, what is one word that describes your team? And the person who put this together for us, picked the top 7. And I think it's really a great, a reminder just of the creativity, helpfulness, creativeness, passion, service, and of course, fun. Because when we know that our community likes to have fun, and so do we, and all the things that we do for our community is really fun. And also, I want to take the opportunity to really, again, thank every member of the Commerce Library staff that came to work during this time. And as we opened our doors, we're really, there to make sure that we did it in a manner that was not only safe for them, but for the community, but really that was really important and needed. And again, this wonderful quote, which I believe the most important asset any library has, goes home at night. And so with that, I also want to thank the City Council for your continued support throughout the years and during this time of this pandemic and going forward. And we look forward to what the future brings. And that's the end of my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
The floor is open for any questions or comments from the city council. No questions or
This
comments?
is Councilmember Argumedo.
Go ahead, Councilmember Argumedo.
Yeah, to our director, Beatriz Sarmiento, and her staff, just wanted to thank them for their great job, great presentation. It's nice presentation to be able to highlight all of what you've done and actually capture and reflect on some of the work that you've done during a very difficult time. So thank you for sharing that. In your initial statistics for June, and you highlighted that. I was just curious if you had what it looked like prior to the pandemic, just for comparison's sake.
You know, off the top of my head, I'm sorry, Councilmember Argo, but I didn't mean to cut you off. Please continue.
Well, yeah. So basically, I was just curious about that, just so and you know, and sorry about the background noise because I'm actually traveling back from El Paso, Texas, and I'm zoomed in, and of course, I've got two little guys in the background. One of them's asleep, but one's awake. So sorry for the added background sound effects there.
No,
But anyways, yeah, I was just curious, just so that we can kind of compare but those are still great numbers that we're looking at there.
They are great numbers, and I will say, as a native of El Paso, Texas, thank you for visiting my hometown. So,
all right,
safe drive home. I did look at them, and although in-person customer patrons 517, that would be for a month. There's some days when we get really close to that number. In terms of how many items we borrow, it's probably double that. So it is a big difference. And again, this is only being open 3 days for 5 hours a day. So if I would have to take that into consideration, we may be pretty good for that amount of time, because before the pandemic, the library was open 6 days a week. So just a couple of things, but thank you very much. I mean, we do continue to see that the numbers are staying there. I'm very interested in when kids go back to school, what that would look like, and I will definitely keep the city council informed as we go forward.
Well, thank you again, and thank your entire staff for the great work that you guys continue to do. So appreciate the presentation. Thank you
so much. I will let them know. I appreciate your kind words.
Any other comments from the city council? Hearing none, I just have a couple of questions. What is it that the library department is going to be doing to get ready for the school year? I know I spoke to a parent that was telling me that, and even my kids, both of my kids go to Roseville Park Elementary.
Okay.
And after speaking to Marlon, she's telling me that they're going to be going back to school mid-August, and just having Central or Roseville Park neighborhood library open, I can already see we're going to have an issue with the Bristol Park community, the Bandini Park community, and the Veterans Park community. And I know for months and months and months, they've been very vocal about, it's nice that Roseville has it open, but, some of these people don't have cars. And I've heard comments as, they can catch a bus. But when you got 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds that got to get on the bus to go from one community to another, I don't think it's first and safe. And so again, what is it that we're doing to get ready for in the library for the whole city? Because sooner than later, we're going to have to be opening up the Veterans Park Library, the Bandini, and the Bristol. And, it's just a matter of time. Are we getting ready as staff? I think I heard something in the line of you guys train staff on the procedures, and is staff ready to open up if the school's open, or what's the hesitation of just Rosewood? Again, we're getting bombarded with questions regarding specifically Bandini, because that's the community I live in, and I know for a while there was conversations about the library being closed, and the community's up at arms. And I guess because I'm the neighbor and I live there, they're coming up to me and they're asking me, and I really don't have very much I can say to them. but I would like to see what is it that we're doing to get ready? Because the schools are gonna open. The schools are gonna open, Rosewood's gonna open. I'm not too sure about Bandini Elementary, but I know, what is it that we're doing to get ready for the school year?
Well, and thank you for the question. And again, I'm really grateful for those members of our community who have made a trek to come to the main library to pick up their materials or through curbside or coming in the library. Right now, what we're doing on that front is we are assessing Bristol Library, and really using the excuse me, the same approach that we did here. We'll be assessing the space. One of the challenges in opening the library will be being socially distant. As you know, Mayor, Bristol is probably the biggest branch library. And if you look at Bandini and you look at Veterans, the spaces are small. And I just say that only not to say, just to say that that's a factor. If we need to keep people socially distant, we'll have to take that into consideration. But right now, what we're doing is assessing the space there at Bristol. What does it need for us to open? And looking to October is what I was told to plan for. So that's what we're doing at the present moment. And then as we go forward, and also, hopefully, because of COVID and just where we are, and if this variant decides to be a more of a factor, I think we'll have to take a look at that. But right now, we're gonna look to Bristol, and I, like all the city council and all our community, hope that we are in a place where we can be able to do more. And when that happens, I will definitely come back to you and let you know just what those needs will be. But right now, I'm really excited that we'll be able to look at Bristol and go over and prepare to open that library. On your other question, I did read a letter from Montebello Unified School District about the new school year, and also about the options that some parents will have for, and I don't remember the name of it, but what I'm guessing is to stay distant. So one of the things I'd like to do is connect with the principal here at Rosewood and really hear from her. What is that going to look like when kids come back? Really to get a real grasp of what that really means. And then we'll come back with staff and share that, and what are the possibilities that we'll have to help those students. I'm happy to say too that the services that we offer, like PACE, and that's a program where kids would come in, they do come in and they bring their project papers, their assignments, and we're able to give them all the materials that they need to do their projects. That's something that we've continued to do. And I really feel like that's a really important service that we do to our school age kids. So I just want to let you know that we are continuing to do that as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Any other questions from the city council? Concerns, comments?
Yeah, Mayor, this is Ivan. I was trying to unmute, but I just got unmuted. I have a comment.
Go ahead, Councilmember Altamirano.
Yeah, Beatrice, I just want to acknowledge you and your staff for the great job you guys do today. I know it's become difficult, but in the past as well. I mean, you guys continue to make a difference in people's lives. I mean, I reflect back when I was a kid and how much of a difference the library has made in my life and my kids. And how fun it was every summer. And you guys not only make it fun for kids today, but you also make it fun for young adults and seniors with the programs and how creative and innovative you guys are. So I just want to acknowledge you and your staff. You're amazing staff. I think you guys are a fun group. Just continue what you're doing, and we'll get through this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Blessed to have someone like you and your staff in our city. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, council member. I appreciate them.
Any other comments, concerns? Hearing no more comments, can I please get a motion to accept the presentation?
I would move to receive and file.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Guimado,
Yes.
Councilmember Altamirano,
Yes.
Councilmember Surer,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Reboyer, and Mayor Mendoza.
Yes, motion passes.
And Mayor,
Thank you
I
all.
want to just to reflect for the record that Councilmember Surya joined the meeting at 6:15 p.m. and Councilmember Altamirano joined the meeting at 6:25 p.m.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for your time. Have a great night.
Okay, we're now going to be moving to item number 7, which is the approval of a traffic signal and street lighting maintenance services agreement. Who'll be presenting?
Good evening, Mayor. This is Daniel Hernandez. I'll be presenting the item.
Go ahead, Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the City Council. The recommendation you have before you will consider adopting a resolution approving a 3-year agreement with Bear Electric Solutions for traffic signal and street lighting maintenance services. So on June 1st, 2021, the City Council did approve the release of the request for proposal for this service. On June 10th, the RFP was published with the due date of June 28th. The city did receive 5 proposals from Siemens, which is was our incumbent, Bear Electric Solutions, Econolite, Crosstown Electric and Data, and St. Francis Electric. In the staff report, we did provide a comparison of all 5 proposals received in terms of the cost, whether it be monthly, quarterly inspections and services. So the table is there for reference. Currently, Bear is the lowest cost, and that is actually lower than our current contractor in terms of the monthly services. It should be noted that that's the fixed cost for the equipment that we have, but the prices may vary based on occurrences of what may happen. So if a pole is knocked down, a street light is knocked down, that is not necessarily covered, but we do have the rates in the agreements that's being presented to you. So that may vary. It really depends on what happens out in the street. If we do have an at-fault party, the city typically is able to recover through the insurance. So we do not eat that entire cost. However, if there is a hit and run, the city is completely on the hook for those services. But just back to the actual proposal. The proposals were reviewed by an evaluation committee consisting of myself, the deputy director, and our city engineer through Transtech. So we evaluated these based on cost, compliance with the RFP, their project understanding, the approach to the company was going to take, their methodology, their responsiveness, flexibility, experienced staff, and the community engagement that they have. So based on that, we interviewed the top 3 firms, which were Siemens, Econolite, and Bear, excuse me, Bear Electrical Systems. So based on that, based on our interview, we ultimately decided that Bear provides the best service based on the needs of the city, and which is why we're recommending Bear as the service provider for our traffic signal maintenance and lighting. At this point, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Hernandez. The floor is open for any questions or concerns. Hearing no questions, can I get a motion to accept the item?
So moved.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Can we please get a roll call?
Councilmember Guimada,
Yes.
Councilmember Altamirano,
Yes.
Councilmember Surya,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Riboyer,
Yes.
and Mayor Mendoza.
Yes, motion passes. Okay, now we're gonna move to item number 8, the presentation review of first-time home buyer program. We'll be presenting.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor Jose Jimenez, Director of Economic Development and Planning. I will be presenting this item. And as I just prepare here and launch my presentation, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council, as you're well aware, we're well into the construction phase with the City Ventures project adjacent here to the City Hall campus. And if you recall, during the approval process, direction was given to staff about possibly reviving an old program that the city once offered regarding the first-time homebuyer program. So what I'm going to do this evening is give you a quick update and rundown, one, of the previous program, and then two, a quick analysis that staff conducted in-house to understand the validity of the project in today's world. So with that, I just want to kind of quickly jump in and start my presentation here. I hope you can see it. Let me know otherwise. And continuing on. So as I mentioned, Council, the first-time homebuyer program was something we had prior during the heyday of redevelopment here in the City of Commerce. During redevelopment, it was required for the city to have what was known then as a set-aside for the tax increment that would come into the city. It was typically 20% of whatever your haul was for a particular year. And at that time, the decision was made to implement this first-time homebuyer program, which was intended to assist low to moderate income persons to purchase their principal residence in the City of Commerce. It was intended to aid those unable to secure a sufficient down payment, and only applicants whose combined family income did not exceed 120% of the county median qualified. So for example, in today's world, looking at 2021, the county median is about 80,000. Thus, a family could not go over this $96,000 threshold in order to stay under the 120%. When approved the program, it provided purchase money loans to assist with the down payment as well as closing costs. We did allow at the time for people to use the program in conjunction with other services that we provided at the time here in the City of Commerce. So the program did provide up to $150,000 to fund, as we mentioned, eligible loans to, again, assist with the down payment as well as those closing costs. What was very critical with the program, Council, was that this was a program, loan repayments under this program were deferred. That is to say that as long as you lived in the primary residence for a period, and we covenant this on the properties, for a period of a minimum 45 years, then that loan was forgivable. Transferring and the sale would subject the property owner to certain fees if that sale occurred within the 45-year window. When approved, the program allocated $600,000. At the time, we did receive research shows that we received, I should say, 6 applicants, but of those 6. We assisted 4. Some of the other requirements had a resale restriction and option to purchase agreement, which restricted the resale of the property to an income-eligible buyer during that 45-year window. Again, as I mentioned, if sold within a 45-year window, the buyer would be required to repay the loan amount based off a simple interest formula. Eligible applicants, by the way, included those that didn't own a home during the last 5 years. And of course, priority was given to our Commerce residents. So again, just want to restate that. Eligible applicants included, 1, obviously qualify with the income requirements, but you did not own a principal residence within the last 5 years prior to applying for the program. And again, priority was given to folks that did live in the community of Commerce. As I mentioned at the start of my presentation, we wanted to look at that particular program to see if there was an opportunity to revive it, and by reviving it, do some of the parameters that we operated under during redevelopment, are they still applicable today? So just a quick sort of analysis shows that a lot of our reporting requirements were pretty sound then as they are now if we were to implement the program. If anything, something that's maybe worth considering is possible adjustments to the loan amounts, just to reflect today's dollars. Of course, the price of a home 10 plus years ago is definitely much different today. So that's maybe something that we would want to consider. Again, this evening, we're just here to present a little bit about the old program, share with you that the program, even in its previous form, is still a defensible program today. What we're looking at is possibly reviving it. As far as funding for the program, we can't use redevelopment, of course, because we no longer have that tool at our disposal, but maybe we can do it. Previous discussions did include possibly using some of the funds that we're going to collect from the sale of the property to City Ventures to help us fund the program. So possible items for us to consider, and we seek the council's direction on, is maybe considering to program one, of course, to our residents. I mentioned earlier, the previous program allowed people that were here within the community for a period of 5 years, or haven't owned, I apologize, a property within the last 5 years to apply for the program. Maybe we can look at that here. We're saying maybe a window of 3 to 5 years. Again, what's very critical, and in order for this program to be successful or to really put a dent, is the subsidy. Do we want to consider the $150,000, or should that be adjusted to maybe reflect a real world situation that we're currently living through at this moment? Houses back in the early 2000s, 200,000+, give or take, here for the Commerce area today. They're pushing well over $500,000, right? So how do we adjust that to reflect today's real world conditions? I always believe that we want to ensure whatever we do here is fair and equitable. And so we want to make sure that the program is that it's fair and that it's equitable. We want to make sure that we address everything that we see coming in from the applicants, and then see if we can pre-qualify them. If a person does meet the requirements and they can be pre-qualified, then the idea would be similar to the old system, enter them into this lottery style type of awarding, so that we can award the funds in a manner that's open and, of course, that is transparent. As I prepare to conclude my presentation, again, this is an open dialogue. Staff would look to the council maybe for further direction. Of course, if there's any questions, we're more than happy to try to answer them. Take that information, of course, go back, see what we can do to make this a little bit more watertight, and then maybe come at a near future date with a formal recommendation to the council. With that, I will stop this presentation and stop sharing. I am more than happy to answer any particular questions the council may have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. We're opening up the floor for any questions from the city council.
Mayor, if I may.
We'll start with Mayor Pro Tem, followed by Councilmember Argumedo.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jose, for the presentation. I know I've been able to ask many questions. I know you emailed this to us prior to, and I've asked questions, and my only two suggestions are definitely to adjust to reflect our current economy. That's truly important. And I would like to see a minimum of 5 years residency in the City of Commerce to ensure that our residents that have been here for a long time, that have grown up here, have the opportunity to buy these homes first. That would be my suggestion. Again, I just thank you. I know that this is something that, I've been asking for a long time, is for us to be able to provide these opportunities for our community. And it's nice to be able to bring back this program, especially during these crucial times where, people are in need of housing. And so I just thank you really much, very much for this. I think my colleagues, and I hope that we can all support this program that will benefit our community. I like that we're going to take what we're making, the earnings from the sale of the property, and invest it right back into our residents. That's truly important. And that's how we show this community that with these housing projects that we bring, we truly want it to be for them, and we truly want to help them be able to afford their first home. So I am definitely, once we iron out all the details, definitely in support of this program, as we've had conversations about this for many years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Argumedo, you had a comment?
Sorry, no comments at this time. Got my hands full here. So, excuse me.
We're going to open up the floor again for the city council. Any questions or comments?
This is Councilmember Altamirano.
Go ahead, Councilmember Altamirano.
Jose, I just wanted to say, hey, listen, thank you so much for all the hard work you do and bring things like this for our community. You help us be creative and innovative. I'm excited to for these homes to go up and for us to once again help families get into these homes. So I trust that you guys are doing the best that you can, and I'm excited. I can't wait for new families to move in, and I can't wait for families that are already in City of Commerce to expand and have an opportunity to get these homes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Hearing none, I'm gonna make my comments. Mr. Jimenez, the last time we had the first-time buyer program, I believe there was I think an individual that he was probably like around 60 years old, a little bit older, and he was one of the individuals that won the lottery the last time around. And even though the city was able to provide $150,000 down, and at that time the homes were selling for about $300,000, I believe the gentleman wasn't able to qualify for the loan back then. So that's why I'm also happy that you're doing the presentation, because if somebody back then that won was not able to qualify, and that was only for $150,000, which would be the amount the individual would have financed. Now that the homes are hitting, you said a little bit over $500,000, but anything right now in Commerce, even a 2-bedroom is at $550,000. So a more realistic number is $600,000, which is possibly double of whatever it was back then. So I know it showed 120% was a 96,000. Just doing ratios, would somebody, a couple making 96,000, be close to qualifying for a $600,000 home? Of course, taking off the 150 the city would provide. Does those numbers look like they would qualify?
I may have to put on my realtor hat, because when it comes to a matter of financing a home, a lot of it goes back to they use the term income to debt ratio. That is, how much do you bring in compared to after you subtract out all your monthly bills, and how much can you actually afford at the end of that? And typically a loan would be structured on the potential amount of risk at that point. That is to say that the bank would say, okay, well, if you came in with like a 20% payment, 20% down payment, maybe the risk is not as much for someone coming in with like under 10, maybe even under 5% of the total amount that's due. Yeah, it could definitely be hard. It all really depends on the person's income to debt ratio. How much money is being checked out every month? How much is actually left in the bank account after all that could be used directly for the cost of housing? So,
I think what I was looking at the 120,000 of the county, 120,000%, and again at 96,000. That was, what was that, like almost 20 years ago. So again, just based on usually the loan to debt ratios, the lowest they come in is around 33%, and the highest they go is 41%. So again, the 96,000 doesn't sound very logical. Again, the real estate market has doubled. It has actually quadrupled in the last 20 years. So I just want to make sure, and I think you mentioned that you guys were looking into pre-qualifying people and having people that are going to have a shot at winning the lottery and actually be able to qualify. Because I would really, really hate that, somebody gets super excited and again, they go through their qualifications and they don't qualify. So I do like the safety net of doing the pre-qualification, only so that the people that do win are going to be able to buy the homes. Again, the real estate market quadrupling in the last 20 years has really priced out a lot of the first-time buyers. But we do have a lot of people in Commerce here that would qualify. So again, thank you for the presentation. And like Councilmember Altamirano said, we're trusting you guys to put a nice package together for our residents to be able to become homeowners here in our city. So thank you for the presentation. Any other questions before we go to a motion? Hearing none, can I get a motion to accept the recommendation?
Are we voting to accept the recommendation? So this would be it, or is it going to come back? Is it a receive and file and it's going to come back with a staff recommendation?
Yeah. it's
I just
a
want to be
receive and
clear.
file. Yeah, it's a receive and file, the staff presentation regarding the first-time buyer program. And I guess, Mr. Jimenez, once they have a presentation with numbers and all that, they're gonna come back. Is that correct, Mr. Jimenez?
Yeah, the idea, Mayor,
Okay.
will come back at a future date after taking this information. I made a clear note here about the pre-qualification. I believe it was part of our previous program as well, but we will make sure that that's clearly emphasized because we want to make sure this program is successful. Obviously, the person coming out of the gate will qualify. They know that they're going to be only a matter of days, right, from opening the keys to their new home here in the City of Commerce. So we'll ensure and again, overemphasize that requirement.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. So recommendations to receive and file staff presentation regarding the first-time home buyer program.
Altamirano move.
So we have a motion. Can we get a second?
Councilmember Argumedo, I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second. Can we please get a roll call?
Councilmember Argumedo,
Yes.
Councilmember Altamirano,
Yes.
Councilmember Sawyer,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Riboyer,
Yes.
and Mayor Mendoza.
Yes, motion passes. At this moment, we're gonna go to council reports, and we're gonna start with Councilmember Altamirano.
I have none at this moment other than tomorrow when we see each other at the park. I just say we follow safe precautions and I'm sure staff has all that handled and there's going to be tents there for us to be able to have a good time and talk. And I'm hearing people are going to be bringing their own favorite plates and the city's going to be offering hot dogs. So excited to see you guys tomorrow. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Councilmember Altamirano. Councilmember Soria.
I have no comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Soria. Councilmember Argumedo.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to keep it short. Again, my apologies. I'm on a trip back from El Paso, Texas, heading home. And, I just want to keep it short and just say, I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow for National Night Out. And if you're going to be out there, we hope that you join us. And I'd like to thank staff for putting something together. I know that we didn't have anything initially planned for National Night Out. They were able to put a program to bring this back. And this is just the beginning because I know folks were asking about us not having it at some of the other parks or a program similar to what we've had in the past. But this is a good start, a good beginning. And I want to thank staff for the good job that I think they've done in putting it together. And I think it's going to turn out to be a good event tomorrow. I look forward to it. I hope to see the community out and the rest of you, the members of the city council as well. So thank you. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Argumedo. Now we're gonna move to Mayor Pro Tem Rebollo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to ask for two action items of staff. With the city of LA just voting to criminalize homelessness, we know that that is going to trickle down into our community. We're seeing it already. And this is only going to get even broader, even bigger. So if we can maybe have a report from our county, our sheriff's department, our staff as to, I want us to be proactive in the approach. I want to know, maybe just give us a brief presentation on exactly what we're doing now when, we see a person experiencing homelessness. What are the services we provide? I know that for some of us we know, but just so that the community is aware, I know that we constantly get phone calls as to, there is a person, a transient person somewhere. And sometimes, people don't understand that being homeless is not a crime. But we do offer services. So what are we doing here in the City of Commerce? So we can get a presentation from our social services, our sheriff, and just staff. I would like to hear as it relates to proactivity, what are some of the things that we are expecting? How many beds do we have at the Bell Shelter that pertain to commerce? I'm not clear as to are we paying through CDBG funds, or are we paying through general fund for beds at the Bell Shelter? And so if we can get a little bit of what we're doing now and what we're expected to do, because we do have to be more proactive in the sense of it will trickle down. It already has started, and with this new vote from the city of LA, it's going to be bigger. So if we can please get a report on that and see how we are going to adapt to that. Also, as we come to see that the rent moratorium has expired, what are we in the City of Commerce going to do as it relates to the rent here in Commerce? I believe that we are still offering assistance for bills, rent, medical, and food, if I remember correctly. So we can get a report on that if we still have funds for that, because we see that the rent moratorium has expired. So what are we doing to help our residents? So I would like to see that. And then also, I think that it's time for us to do some type of job fair. We are seeing many businesses looking for employees. And I think this is a way for us to assist our community, is to help them, place them in jobs. So if we can start looking at creating another job fair with the different businesses that are hiring, again, just as a reminder to the community, the rent moratorium has expired. So I want us to provide access to the different ways that we're going to help our community pay their rent. That's second. Third, I've been in communication with the county, and we are very close to getting one of the county programs here in our city as an added rental assistance program, which is the county funded one. So we're having the dialogue. We're looking for a space in one of our buildings so that the officer could come in here and our community can walk in, apply for rental assistance. So that is something that is an ongoing conversation that we're hoping comes very, very soon. With that, everybody has just mentioned National Night Out tomorrow. I hope to see everyone. Please wear your masks. I know that we will be outdoors, but we have to keep each other safe. So please wear your masks. And also, sorry about that. Also, we're getting towards the tail end of our air quality mapping through AB 617 with or 17, sorry, and Aclima, the Aclima cars that we have in the west part of Commerce, so towards the Bristol Bandini area. So I was hoping that we can get some type of report soon. I will reach out to the Aclima government relations person so that we can talk a little bit about what these cars did. I know that once the data is collected, we will get a full report as to the data that was collected. So we'll know more exactly what is in our air, who is causing it, and then we move forward from there. So that's really it. Just a thank you to the community that came out to Rosewood Park School, to our beautification project. Thank you to the mayor, who I seen there for hours and hours and hours painting. I mean, I usually, I'm the last one to leave events, but he actually beat me to this time and was there painting the curb, painting the buildings. I believe Mr. Argumedo was there too. So thank you for coming out to our schools, showing your support to the community, and just helping us beautify Rosewood Park and getting it ready for their return to school. Thank you to One Day LA. Thank you to Mayor Maricela Santana from Linwood, Vice President Jennifer Gutierrez, Board Member Liliana Magaña from Montebello Unified, to the Principal Gladys Garcia, to our 2 staff who really worked so hard that day, Nick Padilla and Francisco. They were out there just really working hard with our community and with all the volunteers. So with that, just God bless everyone. Let's continue to pray for each other and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And I'm going to start my report with the Rosewood Park beautification project. Thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Rebollo for all the goodies that she was able to pass out to the community. Also thank Council Member Argumedo, who was there. He was out there painting red curves, put a nice video out there. Also, it was a great collaboration between the city, Montebello Unified School District, and the One Day LA. After the project, we were treated to a concert at the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So we were some of the 20,000 volunteers that were able to, grand opening of the stadium. That was a really nice concert. It was, the headliner was Justin Bieber, and it ended up being 231 faith groups put this event together. That was a very religious experience for me and my family. I want to continue by saying that we attended the on July 28th, the Rocking Walking Wednesday at Bristol Park. It was Rock en Español, and it looked like we had a pretty good turnout. We followed it on July 31st. We had a nature walk here at Rosewood Park, and we went around the Rosewood Park and Rosewood Park community. Also, I want to thank tree people. In 2019, they brought us 1,000 trees, and then they gave us an additional 200 trees, fruit trees, which were apples, apricots, and peaches. And I believe they just got another grant where they'll be bringing another 600 to 800 trees to Commerce, where in the last 2-3 years, we're going to be in pace to plant 2,000 trees in the city of Commerce. And that's going to have a great positive impact on our environmental issues. Also, I got an opportunity. I got invited by the Lions Club to their installation dinner. I want to thank President Daniel Cortez, Vice President Sharon Rowe, Treasurer Jaime Valencia, and Secretary Esther Zavala. Also, like my colleague said, we want to welcome tomorrow all our residents to our National Night Out here at Rosewood Park at the Rosewood Park Pagodas from 6 to 8:30. And I'm going to end by saying that tonight we're celebrating 2 celebrations. My son Brandon turns 10 today. I want to wish my son a happy 10th birthday, and he keeps on saying double digits. For some reason, I guess that means a lot in the mind of a 10-year-old. So happy birthday, Brandon! And I'm celebrating double digits too. Yesterday I celebrated my 17th month of sobriety, and I just want to thank my family again, my friends, my neighbors, everybody that's been very supportive. It's been a long journey, but we've been enjoying it. Again, we're gonna adjourn. Are we gonna go to closed session, City Manager?
If the council is able to, we'd have a brief closed session, Mayor.
Okay, so I don't close then. I don't do the adjournment.
Right. So we can read out the one item. If the city clerk will read it out, if the city council is ready to go into closed session, we can do that now.
Okay. City clerk, can you please read what we're going to be convening in closed session?
Conference. Only one item, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, one case, Morley Jasmine and Catherine Jasmine versus City of Commerce.
Thank you. We will reconvene to closed session.
further to report. Closed session discussion concluded at 7:22 p.m.
Okay, now we go to open session and adjourn.
We are in open, Mayor. So we've adjourned as soon as you bump the gavel.
Okay, so we're gonna be adjourning to August the 16th at 5 p.m. in City Hall.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, City Manager.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, everybody.